what you mentioned about us performing in a way in our daily lives and being that superhero figure, especially if you're watching and listening to this, guys, then you are certainly one of those people who wears that everyday mask. And by the way, that's not a bad thing to put on a mask. You don't want to show up all the time as like you wouldn't show up at work the same way that you would show up when it's just you and your spouse watching Netflix or doing what you're doing, right? You show up in a way that's conducive to the environment that you're in. And sometimes, especially if you're a leader listening, you've got people on your team, people you work with every single day who might be an all-star. They might have the smile, they might be bubbly, they might be outgoing. Like look at Robin Williams as an example. This man had everything in his life, all the accolades, all the achievements, all the awards, everything that he ever wanted, he got. For those people who were around him, even those closest to him, you never would have known that he was struggling so much internally. And now we don't have Robin Williams, right? So we know people every day, including ourselves, who wear that mask. And like what you said, it's about becoming aware of, okay, this is something that I'm struggling with. But again, you don't know what you don't know. And we're not, I've never heard, by the way, in elementary, middle school, or high school, and even the parts of college that I went to, not once was burnout mentioned. That word wasn't mentioned.
I learned that truly, probably 3, 4 years ago. And again, I am a physician. I mean, I'm supposed to know about these things. I didn't. And let's clarify that burnout has existed since the 1970s. That was around that time that the word was selected to describe certain changes in behavior and in how you feel regarding your work, right? Lately was kind of part of studies, research, and we have inventories and etc. But just a couple of years ago has been added as a clinical diagnosis. So it has been there forever. We didn't pay attention to it because in some way we were labeling people like, lazy, who knows, weak. And burnout is not a demonstration of being lazy or being weak or not being smart enough or etc. It's just to get to a point where there is a big gap between who you are, where are your values, where are your priorities, what do you really want in your life, where your dreams, right? And what you are doing in your life. Because we plan, right? And we have these ideas and all of us, we have these dreams, but suddenly you are in a position where none of that is happening. When sometimes you are forced to even act against yourself, against your principles, against your dreams. And this big space between who you are and what you are doing is so painful. Sometimes it's even called moral injury, right? Where you are forced to really go against who you are. And this is so painful that I call it trauma, and you will not see necessarily in many articles the connection between burnout and trauma, but in some way that's exactly what we are living, right? When you are going through burnout with this severe chronic stress, right, related to a specific, in this case, career, your job, etc., right? Day by day, you are suffering. What happens is that you are developing in some way PTSD, right? Post-traumatic stress. And the good thing about that is that if you think about positive psychology and you bring the ideas of positive psychology, you can go out of this PTSD and you can go out, therefore, out of burnout, and you can recover your life and recover the power, of who you are, which I believe is what we need to transmit to others. Is that you are not now a victim. You can decide to stop being a victim, and you can decide to, to be empowered and to go after, the direction of your life and what you want to do with it.